Today, I'm going to be breaking down the top details and Easter eggs that you missed during the Fortnite Collision live event. Without further delay, let's jump right into all of this stuff. Now, for the first detail that we have, we are now known as the weapons team and the loopers. If you didn't catch this at the very beginning, when the Paradigm is talking to us, she refers to us as the weapons team.
Weapons team, listen up.
So not only are we the ones looping around the map constantly, we are also now known as the weapon teams in the 7 universe, as that is what she referred to us as, because obviously we were the ones controlling the weapons, whereas Jonesy in the Foundation were the ground team. They were leading the assault on the ground, we were leading the assault in the mech, so just a fun little secret there that we're actually now going to be referred to as most likely a few more times in the future. Now, the second detail we have is we truly get to see that the island isn't a planet in space, but rather a pure island of energy created by the 0 point. When we're actually going to it from the moon that the 7 have their base on, we can see that this is no ordinary planet, and it looks like just a blob of a portal. I don't even know how to describe it, but it honestly looks amazing. And as we got closer to it, we saw the island that we know and love, but of course, this didn't look like a planet, and it proves to us that the 0 point didn't make a planet for the island to reside on, but rather a literal portal in reality for you to go to the island too. Now, for the third detail, this is actually kind of a smaller one, but as you flew the mech, you could actually see your health and shields while you were inside of it. And alongside that, not only could you see your health and shields, but we also got to see it update live. Now, during the live event, fast forwarding a little bit, once we actually got hit by the IO's giant laser, we lost all of our shields. And when we got knocked down to the ground before Peely saved us, we lost all of our HP, and then once we used that slurp chuck, we went all the way back to full shields, full HP. Just a fun little detail there that a lot of people actually missed out on. For the fourth detail, this one, I'm guessing a lot of you guys noticed, we had to dodge the Mothership while we were flying through the sky. But what you probably didn't notice is that this was actually a callback to the Chapter 2 Season 7 live event. Now, during this live event, you guys will remember that at the very end of it, the Mothership was blowing up everywhere. And as we were falling through the sky, just like we were in this live event, we got hit by a giant piece of the Mothership. Now, in this event, though, we have learned from that past mistake, and we were able to navigate past it because we as loopers are agile on our feet, and we know how to conquer those problems. For our fifth detail, we have the landing shot is from the same spot that we got introduced to the Chapter 3 map from. Now, this one may sound confusing at first, but it's actually really cool. When we see the mech landing down on the island, we see 2 palm trees in front of us. Now, these 2 palm trees aren't any 2 palm trees. These are the 2 palm trees from the exact same island that we got our intro to Chapter 3 trailer on, the one where we met the Foundation and got introduced to the new map. By cross-referencing what I saw in the background and realizing that this is the same spot that the island was, we can easily infer that this is the same island. So not only did we start here, but we also ended here at the end of this live event. Just a nice little full circle moment right there. For the sixth detail, we have one that you definitely can only catch in 0.25% speed. And this is that the knee artillery that you used in the fight against the Devourer is still in the mech in this live event. Now, for those who don't know, back in the Chapter 1 Season 9 live event, we used a ton of different explosives and ammunition to shoot at the Devourer. And in this live event, we were able to see that same ammunition in a freeze frame moment that you could only catch if you were watching this back in very slow motion. So I'm really glad that I caught this detail, because while it is very tiny, it still is something really nice to know that the Fortnite developers are not only trying to forward the storyline with this live event, but they're also putting in nice little Easter eggs for those of us who really care about them. For the next detail, we have that the Heartbreaker attack was actually foreshadowed by the symbol on the mech during the suit-up process. Now, if you look at the suit-up process yet again in slow-mo, you'll actually see that there is a broken heart on the left chest plate of the mech. Now, this broken heart is obviously referencing the Heartbreaker laser beam attack that we used to destroy the giant IO drill and fight back against the laser beam that almost destroyed our mech entirely. If that thing got even one more shot off, our mech would have been destroyed into a million pieces, but thankfully, it got stopped by our Heartbreaker attack. Now, another really cool detail that you can only catch in slow motion is that when this drill actually explodes, it doesn't explode into just any smoke cloud. It explodes into the logo of the Heartbreaker that is engraved on the mech suit. So just really, really good attention to detail there, yet again by the Fortnite developers on this event. It is so amazing how detailed they actually were with this and how many hidden Easter eggs they threw into this thing. Now, this one is a fun one. Before Peely saved all of reality and saved the mech entirely by giving us that slurp juice, the mech's arm flew off again. Now, for those who don't know, back in Chapter 1, Season 9, yet again, when we had the mech live event, the arm guard of the mech flew off into the ocean after the Devourer ripped it off, and then it just got sent absolutely flying. And in this live event, it happened again. The exact same arm piece got torn off by the missiles, and it went flying right past the camera somewhere on the map. So most likely, that will either be in the ocean next season, or it will be a new POI on the map. Only time will tell about that one, but again, a really cool little detail. Now, this detail is one that most people probably already know, but I figured that I still wanted to throw it on there in case any of you don't know. Now, this entire season, Peely has been learning how to drive a car, and Jonesy has been teaching him. And this moment was amazing during the live event when Peely just pulled up in the truck with the slurp juice barrel, and he literally saved all of reality by giving us that slurp juice, because without the mech getting repaired right there, the IO win that fight and we lose all of reality. So major clutch by Peely, and hey, thanks to Jonesy for teaching the banana how to drive. Now, for the next one, this is a question a lot of people have been asking. How did the IO have so many tanks and mechs in this live event? I mean, we've seen tanks spawn around the map, but they had hundreds of tanks. And this is actually not that difficult to answer. Now, if we think all the way back to Chapter 2, Season 4, when Tony Stark visited the island and cloned the battle buses to fight back against Galactus, Dr. Sloan was there when he was doing all that innovation, so she most likely knows how to do the same processes that Tony Stark did. My guess is that she just cloned a bunch of these tanks in the loop, threw them onto the battle island, and hoped that they would stop the mech. Obviously, that didn't go as planned for her, though. Now, this one is a little bit of a smaller one, and it's a voice line that you probably missed just because of how much was actually going on during the time, but she mentioned how much she hates the brute mechs.
They're the worst. Take them out.
And Paradigm, I could not agree with you more right here. If you didn't play all the way back in Chapter 1, Season X, those things were one of the most annoying vehicles I have ever witnessed, and even though they've added them back into the game nowadays, they are nothing like the overpoweredness they were back in the day. So honestly, Paradigm, I respect you for this voice line. Thank you for saying that they suck, because those things were unplayable, and I am happy that they are gone, but that's just a little bit of a personal tangent. Let's get back to all the details that you missed. Now, after the collider fell into the pit, we got to see the 0 point, and in the 0 point, we saw glimpses of a bunch of different realities. Now, the first reality that was shown, many of you guys may have recognized, but it may not have registered with all of you. The Durr Burger that was shown was actually the Durr Burger from Chapter 1, Season 5 in the Nevada desert. That is right. This is our universe I'm talking about right now, the one that we all reside in. For those who don't know, in Chapter 1, Season 5, the first introductions of rifts that we saw were rifts between our reality and the Fortnite reality. That is where the drift actually comes from. He was a guy who lived in the Nevada desert, and then Fortnite just put a Durr Burger in the Nevada desert, and then it got sucked into the game of Fortnite alongside the drift guy. So that is literally our reality that we saw in that first frame of the 0 point. Just a really cool little detail right there. Now, this is where we get to the fun part, and this is where we get to my controversial take. In the 0 point that we see at the very end of the live event, that is not Geno, or at least it is not an accurate representation of Geno. The glimpse that we got in the 0 point was a little bit distorted and it looked semi-monstrous, and I honestly don't think that Geno is monstrous. Now, we have seen images of what we think to be Geno in Dr. Sloan's loading screen, but is that actually Geno? Or is the person in the 0 point Geno? Now, here's the thing. The person in the 0 point is Geno. I know I just said it's not Geno, but hear me out and give me a second to explain. The person in the 0 point was depicted as distorted, and they looked really kind of weird. It looked like they were fluctuating in the face, and they looked entirely otherworldly. I don't think Geno is an otherworldly being. I think the magic to Geno in the Fortnite storyline is that he is so incredibly powerful, even among a world of gods like the Origin, who used to destroy entire realities. He is just a simple human, but still manages to rain so much destruction just by controlling the IO from afar. My guess is that this is the 0 point interpretation of Geno, showing him as a bit of a monstrous figure, when in reality, he's not that intimidating in person. So hopefully we'll get more lore once Jonesy and the Foundation make it to Geno, and hopefully we get to see what he actually looks like, because my guess is that he looks a lot less creepy than he did in the 0 point, and he actually looks like a human, just like Jonesy and just like the Foundation does. But overall, those are all of the details that you missed in the Fortnite live event that you could only catch if you were watching it in 0.25x speed. If you guys actually did enjoy this video or find it helpful, then please consider leaving a like on it and subscribing to the channel, as that would help me out a ton. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.